Social media and websites might show you where you want to stay. Sales, they tell you when to book. But they rarely tell you where you actually are. I'm Megan, and yes, I talk about Sandals and Beaches resorts. The weekly sales, the promos worth booking, and the ones you can skip. Room categories, upgrades, insider tips, and how to actually get the best value for your vacation. But a resort doesn't exist in a vacuum. It sits on an island with a story, shaped by history, culture, food, people, and moments you'll never find on a booking page. On Islands Uncovered, we go beyond the resort gates. We talk about the islands and the people that Sandals and Beaches call home. The legends, the flavors, the unexpected stories hiding just beneath the surface. Because the best trips aren't just well priced, they're well understood. This is where smart booking meets storytelling. This is where vacations feel more meaningful. This is Islands Uncovered. Hey everybody, welcome back to Islands Uncovered. My name is Megan. I'm the owner of Dare to Dream Travel. I exclusively sell Sandals and Beaches vacations. And today you might have noticed something different. This episode is coming out on Wednesday as opposed to Thursday. And we have a little bit of exciting news. So we are going to be switching up the format of the podcast. In the past, if you've been listening, you know that we typically talk about all the sandals deals and promos at the start of the podcast. And then the second half of the podcast, we always go into a story off resort about one of the islands, the history, the culture. We've done spooky stories before. It's super fun. But what I've found is that they are so different from each other, the two different things, is I am going to now release 2 short episodes every week. So on Wednesday, I'm always going to try to get out the episode that talks about the deals and promos because as you know, the 777 rooms get released on Wednesday. And then probably on Monday, I will do the short story portion of the podcast. I really hope that you listen to both. I think there's so much value in learning about these resorts, but also learning about everything that happens on the islands off the resort. Even if you go and just like to enjoy your vacation and sit by the pool and the beach and you don't leave the resort, I think the education is important to know what is outside of the properties as well. So, hope that you'll join me for both episodes, but if you're only here for the deals, this is certainly the episode for you. So we are going to dive right in today because Sandals not only released their new 777 rooms today, but also yesterday they changed the promo that they were doing. And I wasn't sure if they were going to change it because, as you know, sometimes they just extend it. They did extend the same winter blues sale for the 2 Beaches resorts. So Beaches Negril and Beaches Turks still have the winter blues promo going on. If you have questions about that, what that entails, please reach out. For Sandals, they are doing now what's called the Suiteheart Sale. And if you're going to go and Google it, Sweetheart is spelled like a suite that you stay in. So Suite. I had to think about that for a minute. Sweetheart. Obviously a play off of Valentine's Day. It's only running for the next 2 weeks. So if any of this sounds appealing to you, it's a great time to put your deposit down to lock in this promo. So the promo runs for the next 2 weeks. Any new trips where deposits are put down, you are going to be able to take advantage of the deals that I'm talking about today. This goes until February 16th. So, what does this Sweetheart Sale include and how is it different from what the Winter Blues sale was just promoting? So the Sweetheart Sale is, like I said, play off of Valentine's Day. It's obviously going with a more romantic vibe. And so we'll start with the easy stuff. You've still got your resort credits. The resort credits are going to be monetary amounts applied towards your vacation. So kind of like a coupon of sorts. It's different based on how long you stay. This is almost exactly the same as the resort credits that were previously used for the Winter Blues sale. So the highest resort credits are going to be for 10 nights or more at any of the resorts. Different resorts have different amounts, with the highest resort credits being the resorts at Sandals St. Vincent, Sandals Royal Curacao, the two resorts in Barbados, Royal Barbados, and just Sandals Barbados, Royal Bahamian, and then Sandals Ochi has two rooms that also give the higher resort credits as well. But all of the resorts have resort credit, and some of them started just staying 3 nights. So certainly a good deal to take advantage of the resort credit. But the big thing that we know that always changes with these promos is what freebies are they giving and how are you going to get them? So there's a few more restrictions with this sweetheart sale. We're definitely seeing a push for Jamaica with this. If you're interested in going to Jamaica, this sale is for bookings for vacations in 2026 all the way through December 25th of 2027. So if you're interested in Jamaica, this might be a good time to take advantage of this sale and book this room. What they are doing is if you stay 5 nights or more at any Sandals property in Jamaica, it doesn't matter what room category you're in, you are going to get one of the free private candlelight dinners. Now, this is going to be something that you need to register for this after you book, but you get the candlelight dinner. Once you get there, you talk to them and you get your date picked, and it's usually down on the beach, romantic, right? Playing into the sweetheart theme, the romance theme here. There's a lot of people who really love these candlelight dinner options. It's a great thing if you're planning a honeymoon. It's special. You get to order off a private menu. It's really fun. So 5 nights or more, you get the candlelight dinner. I know for a fact that this candlelight dinner is a higher value than the $150 spa credit that they were just offering. So great deal for 5 or more nights, but it's only at Sandals in Jamaica. Now, there is also, you're going to see when you're looking at this sale, the option of if you stay 7 nights, you get 1 night free. Keeping in mind, this is only for certain resorts and certain room categories at these resorts. So I took a look at the fine print for you, and most of these rooms are butler rooms, with the exception of two. So let's dive into that. All of the butler rooms at Sandals Ochi, Sandals Grenada, and Sandals Antigua are on this promo. So if you stay 7 or more nights in a butler, any butler room at these resorts, you qualify for the free night. Then St. Lucia. If you go to Sandals Regency La Toc or Grand St. Lucian, there are certain butler rooms, not all the butler rooms, but certain ones that qualify as well. So St. Lucia is a great one for this. And then if you go back to Jamaica, Sandals Montego Bay, there's a whole bunch of butler rooms listed, but if you read through all those codes, there's also two club rooms listed. We've got the SUP and the SLX. These rooms are stay 7 nights, get 1 night free. These are the two swim up rooms at Sandals Montego Bay. So if you're looking to go to Sandals Montego Bay, you don't really need a butler, but you love these swim ups, 7 or more nights is going to get you that free room. It's also going to get you that free candlelight dinner and the resort credit as well. So that is one of the room or two rooms, I guess, that I wanted to call out with the sale because most of the rooms are just butler rooms, but Montego Bay, it's got those two club rooms in there that you can take advantage of for this lower rate. Now, it's all I always talk about. Let's stack deals on top of each other, right? Got to see how we can stack these deals. So the next thing I would look at are the 777 rooms that came out today. Sandals and Beaches each put 7 rooms for an extra 7% off, and they release these every Wednesday. So if you are interested, you look every Wednesday and you see which rooms they are, and just know that it's only for that next week through the next Tuesday. This pricing is going to apply. And there usually are blackout dates too. So don't just think, oh, I have a room booked in 2028 and it's one of these. I'm going to call and adjust my rate. You got to check to make sure that it applies during this date. So this is something a travel advisor can help with. I'm always keeping up with this for my clients, making sure that they understand if their room qualifies and if it does, calling to get the rate adjusted. But let's just talk about the rooms today that are at 777. Let's start with Beaches. Beaches has got 4 rooms from Beaches Negril and 3 from Beaches Turks and Caicos. Remember, there are only the 2 Beaches resorts right now, so they're just doing It's spread out between these two resorts. They're keeping it fairly consistent. We've got the four at Negril. So we've got the tropical ocean view walkout and the non-walkout version of that. It's a larger suite. It's got a king bed in there. It's got a pull-out single sofa chair, and then it also has a sofa with a trundle. So these rooms can sleep up to five. Again, there's a walkout version, which is going to be on the first floor, and then a non-walkout. So it's going to be on a higher floor. And then we just have the tropical concierge king and tropical concierge double. So same room category, but one has a king bed in there with a sleeper bed, and the other one has two double beds in there with the sleeper bed. Both of these rooms will only sleep up to four. So those are all of the rooms at Beaches Negril. Bouncing over to Beaches Turks and Caicos, we've got two walkouts. We've got a walkout in the Italian Village. We also have a walkout version in the new Treasure Beach Village. So we've been seeing these Treasure Beach concierge rooms on 777. They've been rotating through the basic one and then the ocean view. This one is the walkout. So if you want a guaranteed walkout room, it's on 777 this week. And then there's another one bedroom in the Seaside Village. I love the Seaside Village. It's kind of in the middle area of the resort now, especially since Treasure Beach is going to be opening. And these rooms are slightly newer than the others. So beaches I wanted to breeze through because we're not talking about stacking those on top of the Sweetheart Sale, because remember, that's not a part of the Sweetheart Sale. But the Sandals 777, let's talk about how we can stack these particular rooms this week with the Sweetheart deal the best way. So just keep in mind, all of the rooms on 77 this week, 777, 77, whatever, you know what I mean? Um, they're a good deal. Any of these rooms, this is a great price. The 777 is typically one of the best deals you're going to get. Stacking it is even better. Okay, so they've got Butler rooms at St. Vincent, Royal Plantation, which is in Ocho Rios. They've got a Butler room at Sandals Ochi and Sandals Regency Latak. So the room at Sandals Ochi and the room at Sandals Regency Latak on 777 are Butler rooms, and both of them also qualify for the stay 7 nights, get 1 night free. That's how you stack. You use the free night and you put it with the 777. Then we have another room over at Sandals Royal Bahamian. This is a club level room in the West Bay Village. And then we have luxury rooms at Sandals Royal Curacao and Sandals Negril. So again, all of these rooms on 777 this week are a better price than they were last week. The prices are going to go up next week. These are great rooms to book. But if you're looking and you were like, what is one of the best deals? You're going to want to stack it. So, I mean, Latak or Ochi, those Butler rooms, those are the ones we can stack with that Sweetheart Sale. I will say that any of these rooms you can stack with the Sweetheart Sale 5 nights or more in Jamaica. So Ochi Latak Royal Plantation or the luxury room at Negril, all of those 5 or more nights, you're going to get the free candlelight dinner too. So that's a smaller stack, we'll say. I was just looking at the big stack options, but that's kind of a breakdown of where we are at this week for sales. If you are interested in any of the resorts that I mentioned or any of the other Sandals or Beaches properties, please reach out. Like I said, this sale, the Sweetheart Sale, only goes through February 16th. The 777s only go through next Tuesday, so that's going to be February 10th. Then we'll get another few days with another few rooms on 777 that we'll talk about next Wednesday. But these sales are, they've definitely got a time limit on them. If you are interested, remember, you can throw down a $400 deposit. Actually, you can throw down a $98 deposit, but they will charge your card the additional $302 3 weeks later. So the total deposit is actually 400, which is why I say 400. You can throw that down and it's fully refundable. up until 45 days before you travel. So you could book a trip for November of 2027, throw down $400, something comes up or you need to move it. It's okay. We can still do that. So the Sandals pros know that when you are looking to go on a vacation and you see a room that you like at a deal, that you want, throw down your deposit because you never know if that room is still going to be available in, a couple weeks later. Thank you guys so much for listening. I will be back on Monday with a story about one of the islands. Follow along, listen to that on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow me on social media. I very much appreciate it. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok one, that's probably the most fun, gives you the most resort updates. And then Instagram and Facebook are the pretty pictures. So pick whatever suits you best. And thank you for listening. I hope you reach out. My services are always free, and I would love to help you plan your next vacation to Sandals or Beaches resorts. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye.